What is going on YouTube? Hey, I'm back making another brand new Crypto TV episode. In today's video, we are going to be looking at XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, as well as Binance and the S&P 500. As you guys know, we do a different cryptocurrency here on the channel every single week with your guys' help. And on that note, we are still doing our crypto coin display giveaway. All you have to do to enter to win one of these is literally just comment your favorite cryptocurrency down in the comment section below, as well as comment subscribed. All you have to do is comment those two things to win one of these. We do the drawing every Saturday, and I do check to see if you're subscribing, so if you're not, you will not win one of these. But we do it every single week, and we've had a lot of happy winners, so definitely want to give one to you, so comment down below. More importantly, what we're going to be looking at in today's episode is obviously some of these crazy movements within the crypto market. As you guys saw in the title, is it a bull trap? Are we getting trapped into something of a reversal? Yesterday we talked, or 2 days ago, we talked about how I bought in as we approached the $40,000 level. We actually broke through 40K, which was amazing, and I did buy in. I guess I just was short-sighted and thought we were just going to immediately correct upwards. And then I made a video yesterday discussing how I probably bought in a little too soon, and I have no problem being transparent and telling you guys when I do take a loss. And I actually decided to cancel my order that I had put in with that stop loss set at 39,500, anticipating an immediate reversal. So I canceled the position, bought in for a short, and that seems to have been paying off. Not only have I been able to make my profit, or sorry, make my loss back, but I'm actually back into profit, which is something that we all have to look at. You have to take some sort of educated risk in order to capitalize on small and long-term gains. So, you know, as we speak, Bitcoin is heading back down right now, as predicted, as anticipated, and we do believe that it's going to be falling to certain levels that I want to tell you guys about. Hopefully, you know, you learned something from the past couple of videos, and I do have a lot to talk about in today's episode. Otherwise, if you guys are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe, turn on post notifications, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. Make sure to join us over at Discord, as we have over 1,500 active community members talking about cryptocurrency, what we're buying, what we're selling, and I'm also in there. Otherwise, let's jump into today's episode. All right, guys. As you can see, top 10 cryptocurrencies, everything is in red. I'm actually excited, and I know a lot of people are probably like, well, why is he so happy about seeing the market in red? Mainly because I was able to cover my trade that I made yesterday and the day before. You can see Bitcoin right now is now at $38,900. We have the rest of the market kind of pulling down as well. I'd say, yeah, the average is about 7%. We lost probably 7 million, 7 million over the courses of just a day, and then we have 70, yeah, something like that. I don't know, maybe it's 70 million, I don't know. So 1.61 trillion, yeah, 70 million we lost just over the course of a day. Absolutely insane how much the market is swinging right now. But I don't want to bore you guys with this. I want to just jump right into the technical analysis and talk about XRP and the other cryptocurrencies. You guys can see XRP right here. We have Ethereum, we have Bitcoin, as well as Binance Coin, and then we have the S&P 500. So I'm going to start with Bitcoin, then we're going to wrap ourselves into XRP for you guys. But more importantly, I want to talk about Bitcoin because this is the coin that I actually entered a trade position on. So as you guys remember from yesterday, I actually had my position open once we broke through 40K. So I had my movement here. This was a little bit lower. It was probably like right here, literally at the $40,000 line. And I saw this candle wick on the 14th. Today is currently the 16th. Break us through here. We actually closed at about $40,600, and I thought, oh my god, you know, it's finally starting. I'm gonna buy in and rally it up. And then this day we actually saw a lot of uncertainty, and that uncertainty was enough of a signal to me to actually sell off my position in anticipation for a reversal back down. Reason I did so was because I noticed just from here back on end of May, as well as all the way back on the beginning of January, I noticed the top was slightly higher. It was more so like that. And when I moved that, then things started to align themselves and become a little bit more easier to read. And as you guys know, when I buy and trade into cryptocurrencies, there's a few key signals that I use before I either enter a trade or sell a trade, in regards to that movement. Obviously, we know that cryptocurrency is not a closed system, that things are always changing at, any given pace. And that's why I always recommend to constantly be readjusting your charts in case something doesn't add up. They're not fixed. These lines on these charts, they move for a reason, and that's because things are always changing. So the second I realized that I was actually undervaluing the market, and I actually bought in closer to that $40,000 500 range, and that actually was still below my resistance level, I decided to actually cancel my trade. I only lost I think $400 or $500, which is nothing when you leverage trade it, because I didn't have that much in regards to margin. But you can see that this makes more sense now, and I do discuss that when I like to buy into positions because I'm a conservative trader, it depends on where the market is. I tend not to trade inside channels because I feel like inside channels here, there's a lot more risk involved and a lot less of a opportunity to actually call a trade to either direction. It becomes a lot harder. But we know once we start hitting resistances and support levels, it's much easier to actually capitalize and figure out which direction the markets want to move to. So when I noticed that the resistance level was hitting here and I saw the uncertainty, I sold off my position and ended up actually switching to a short position with about a 10 times leverage, as I'll explain in a second. But since then, we actually closed, we looked good, and then immediately we started to dump, and I anticipated this to happen because I like to trade in once we actually retest resistance and support levels. So once we retest bottom supports here, we know to switch long. We know when we hit resistances or supports up here, we know to switch long. When we hit resistances, we know to switch bearish and short the markets, especially when we close below resistance levels. So the fact that yesterday closed us below resistance was enough for me to consider a reversal to the downside. We didn't actually close before I canceled my position. Immediately after I made my video yesterday at 8 o'clock in the morning, I canceled the trade and switched to a short position. I ate the loss, and it's been paying off well right now as markets are starting to correct to the downside. You can see I do believe we're probably going to continue to head to the downside. It's unfortunate, but a lot of things are starting to add up. The fact that the past 3 days have literally, returned a yield of 17% gains, it didn't seem that realistic that we were going to continue to pump all the way up to 47,000. Not that we're not going to, but for right now, playing the short term on a big trade like this, it only makes sense to, get out when the time is available, and that was right now. So the fact that I saw a 17% run, I didn't anticipate any more movement to the upside, so I canceled my trade, flipped to a short, and now shorted it to the downside. And the other really cool thing that a lot of you guys have to know is when I post my trades and I tell people about my trades, my Discord blows up. They either agree with me or they don't agree with me. And yesterday we were getting a ton of negative feedback in regards to the trade, which, was enough of a signal and a push for me to cancel that trade and flip to a short. So I actually shorted the market down, and I'm honestly not going to be buying back in until we see much more of an aggressive move to the upside. Things are still leaning towards a more of a consolidation point. We could easily see this position pull us back down to easily $37,000, another $2,000 reversal on the coin. Obviously, we can just move the stop losses lower or cancel the trade, move the stop loss down when we open a new trade, and so on and so forth, as it is slightly harder on Bityard. But this is where all the action happens. So if you guys haven't already took advantage of Bityard, definitely make sure to do so. I did link them in the description down below. More so, it gives you the opportunity to leverage trade, cancel them very easily. We have Bitcoin as well as XRP on here, as well as tons of other cryptocurrencies, and I get to sell short, create stop losses, create take profits. It's literally everything in one, and it's the most beginner-friendly website I personally like to use for trading cryptocurrency, shorting it, and things of that nature. Let me just cancel the ad in the back. Boom. So I'm very excited to see that I'm finally back into profits. Yesterday didn't really feel so good. I like to separate my emotions, but it was not something I like to, address when I make things public like that I bought in for a long position and then I start to see the markets reverse. And that was enough for me to actually buy in back into a short. So that's really my, target price for Bitcoin for those that haven't already. I don't think it's too late to buy back in. If you watch this video, it's currently 8:30 in the morning when I'm making this video. But I do believe that we are going to continue to pump downwards. I probably anticipate 36,800 to be where we start to kind of find support. If we break through here, it's a whole different story, but it could swing us ultimately all the way down to 30K. So it is a good trade. I'm glad I bought into this. I do anticipate swings to the downside to continue for the rest of today and tomorrow, maybe making up for this thing here. But regardless of the fact Bitcoin is still in a sideways channel, we are still filled with uncertainty. Markets just don't want to break 40K and they don't want to go below 30K. So there's a lot of play in between here. So I'm much more comfortable buying in to short it at the top here and capitalizing on this profit on the way down. More importantly, looking at XRP now, the reason I haven't bought into XRP, as a lot of you guys have been wondering, is because I've seen Bitcoin as a much easier way to make profit. To be honest with you guys, there's been a lot easier calls on Bitcoin than we have for XRP. XRP really doesn't have that big channel that we're talking about. We can kind of find one. I mean, if you really wanted to, we could probably move, a support level or a resistance, or support maybe at 80 cents. Maybe that's the exact zone, but I'm starting to get a little worried about XRP right now, as we might be flipping bearish very soon. It really depends on how low our Bitcoin wants to pull back down, but it's kind of influencing the rest of the market. We're kind of seeing other cryptocurrencies start to see that pullback too. And if Bitcoin pulls all the way down to 30K, even though it's still inside its sideways channel, it would be confirming that this uptrend is freaking broken like we've seen before. It seems to not be playing that much of a factor in regards to the technical analysis here, because of the fact that we have broken through it in the past. So I'm using this less. It's a very weak support level for you guys. So definitely don't follow this uptrend as well as we have in the past when we were using it. We broke through it very easily. More so, I'm looking to see what's going to happen when we retest this resistance level here, which will be soon. It will happen at some point. We have two confirmations of a reversal. So I'm looking for that third confirmation to basically confirm this downtrend. And I'm more so looking for either a symmetrical triangle to fill out, which probably won't happen, something like that, or I'll draw it a little bit better, something like this inside here, which I don't think is going to happen actually. I'm seeing this more as a descending triangle, a much bigger one than we had pictured, that will ending the trade probably in the beginning of September. I know that's a while away, but there's plenty of room to actually capitalize on this pinball-like effect. So every time we come back up, we retest resistance here. We can short it, we hit support, we can long it, so on and so forth, and capitalize on these swings in between here. But for right now, 40K was the resistance. It bought in. I do anticipate a short. We'll see how far it decides to fall. But we know if we hit 30K and we close above there, to swing it back to the upside. As for XRP, if we see Bitcoin go to 30K, that's going to confirm a break below our support level on, XRP that's been since the end of January. So we had months now, like 5 or 6 months of the support level that's been holding very well. But if we break through here and we close at like 80 cents, I'm going to short it. It's unfortunate, but I'm going to short it, and there's going to be probably a pullback down to 49 cents. And that would basically be confirming that the downtrend and the bear market is here. And I want you guys to just be aware of that. If we break through this support, it's game on to short it to the downside. It's unfortunate, but it's something you guys have to just be realistic about. Obviously, a lot of the beginner investors are going to be... It's not going to be a fun time if we decide to correct lower, mainly because people are just going to be selling out of the market. They're not going to be shorting the market. I mean, it gives us the competitive advantage that we know how to short cryptocurrency. But the overall market, your parents that are invested into cryptocurrency that don't really know much about things and don't know how to get as in depth into here, like they probably don't even know how to sign up for Bityard or how to even deposit money into Bityard. Those are the people that are going to just sell their positions and leave the market, and that volume is obviously going to be good for us to short it. It's going to cause a big drop is what I'm saying. It's going to be good for us to short. It's going to be bad for the overall market because there's going to be a lot of negative media about it. So it's not going to be a good time for the market. Good for us, bad for the overall economy of crypto, if that makes sense to you guys. Otherwise, looking at Ethereum and the other cryptocurrencies before we end today's episode, we have a big ascending fractal on this coin. I'm hoping that we can just, come down just a little bit, maybe to 2250, and bounce off there and start to recover. That would ideally be the best case scenario. If we see a small percentage drop on Ethereum, which tends to follow the other cryptos, it'll be maybe a 7% drop, 8% drop. How will that look on the other cryptocurrencies? 8% for, XRP will probably pull us down to this support. Now it's even smaller. It's like right here. Hopefully it's just a wick. We have it throughout the day, and then we, climb back up. For Bitcoin, 8% drop would look like, let's see, an 8% here would pull us down to, yeah, give or take around this uptrend here. So hopefully, if the markets deem good, it'll just pull down a support here at 37 and then continue to play up from there. We'll see, though. Binance Coin, not looking the best in regards to the fact that if we're considering shorting this and correcting it to the downside, if the coin falls any lower, maybe it will retest its support level here, at the moving averages. That would be ideal. That's probably what's going to happen. But an 8% drop again would look like, oh, sorry, not what I wanted to use. An 8% drop in regards to price would pull us down to about here, probably retesting the top of this green band right here. So that's where I'm predicting this. Hopefully it's only within the day. We just wick down to that and then come back up. That would be ideal. But we'll see what happens. Regardless, my shorts are in. I'm moving that stop loss down as I, see and I deem fit just to break even, and then so on and so forth. But the S&P 500 also not looking too hot. Looks like it wants to pull back down again. We'll see how today decides to play out. Otherwise, guys, it's pretty much going to wrap up today's video. If you are new to the channel, definitely make sure to subscribe. Smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace.